Jonathan Perry. I don't know if you've heard this, but it's been in the news that the former head of the Israeli space program has come forward and said that aliens are real and we have been in contact for a few years. He says they are peaceful, just curious about us, and the United States is aware of this and is also involved. What I'm wondering is if Scientologists have heard this due to their isolation. But if they were to hear this, would it cause them to double down on their belief system? Perhaps make it even more difficult for people to escape or simply to stop asking questions. What effect would this have on the Scientology community? All right, Jonathan, thank you for that. And I'm glad you didn't ask me to comment on the veracity or truth of the Israeli prime minister or head of the Israeli space program, saying that, because I don't really have an opinion on that one way or the other. But it's interesting how Scientologists would respond to this. It's a good question, because they would absolutely believe this to be true without even question. They would just accept it as a matter of course, because Scientologists very, very much do have that space alien, spacefaring civilizations kind of idea. They easily accept that to be true. Now, not all lower level Scientologists have yet been exposed to that information, so we don't want to make blanket statements about every Scientologist believes in space aliens or something. It doesn't quite work that way. But as you get more and more involved in the cosmology, the mythology of Scientology, you will buy into this belief system. Absolutely. So what Scientologists do, by the way, and why I thought this would be interesting to answer is because they will look for confirmation outside of the world of Scientology for their Scientology beliefs. And they'll use that to double down on what Hubbard has to say. We're always looking for confirmation of our beliefs. This is what confirmation bias is all about. And you can find, little bits and pieces that you can look at and go, oh, well, that proves, that L. Ron Hubbard was right. So every case where there's a curious UFO sighting or example, or every case where, there's strange things going on, the Scientologists are like, yeah, of course. And in fact, they are not just assisted in this by the overall mythology of Scientology, but actually by L. Ron Hubbard saying things in lectures like, I was sitting there eating my dinner one night, and my daughter came in these high white boots, these vinyl boots that kids wear these days. This was a lecture in the 60s. And my daughter Diana came into the dining room, and I just saw the little boots, and I thought to myself, oh, space boots. And he thought, as he continued to relate, which I'm not going to continue doing this horribly bad voice impression of L. Ron Hubbard, he continued to relate in this story that he did not see Diana for a second, his daughter. He thought those were space boots from the invader force that had just landed here, and the jig was up, and they were here to take out Scientology, right? Literally, Hubbard talked about that in a lecture one day. So Scientologists are a little primed to believe that the aliens might come any day. And if they do, it's not necessarily good news. Because remember, they have invader forces in their past. In other words, alien civilizations that move forward through space and invade other planets and take them over, conquest. And there have been a number of these invader forces that have come through this solar system, Hubbard says. So Scientologists are very primed to believe in aliens and UFOs and all of it. And they'll use this message from the former head of the Israeli space program or any other information they come across to confirm their beliefs. That's how that works. So anyway, just thought you might find that a little amusing.